Let's now take you to Uganda, which goes to the polls early next year. But the election fever is already palpable in the country. Two opposition leaders, that is Dr. Kizza Besigye and former Prime Minister Amama, have already declared their intention to challenge the incumbent President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Our reporter Solomon Serwanja put together a package on the issues that influence voters in Uganda.
In just 4 months, Ugandans will go to the polls to decide their next president in the much-anticipated election scheduled for February 2016. Political temperatures are already rising as various presidential aspirants traverse the country for consultations ahead of the nomination date of 3rd November. Different camps have already designed their manifestos, all of which aim to take Uganda from being a third world country to a middle income state. All this to convince the electorate for a crucial vote that would usher them to power. But what exactly influences a Ugandan to cast their vote for any candidate? We took the question to the streets of Kampala.
The future plans that he has laid down in his manifesto or her manifesto can influence me to vote.
NRM government for 30 years has done nothing to the people of Uganda. That's why we want change in our country.
But even before some of these voters can hear from the presidential aspirants' manifestos, they already have made their minds up on who to vote for president.
For us, Democratic Party decided to support John Patrick Amama as a party.
Apparently, I would say Museveni. Why? Because when I look at the history of Uganda, where he came from, what he has done for Uganda, yeah, I give him my vote.
Such decisions, according to political analyst and good governance scholar Dr. Patrick Wakida, are not based on service delivery promises from the manifestos, but on excitement.
In Africa, people like you, and they will vote you because they like you, or because you are their relative, or because you appear good to them. It's not necessarily that people vote leaders because they expect those leaders to deliver services.
Wakida also cites money as a major influence in Ugandan politics.
We did a survey, and we wanted to find out how many Ugandans of voting age would say, I have ever received a bribe. And I want to tell you that 9% said we ever received a bribe. About 60% of the 9% said when we received that money, we went ahead and voted a person.
He, however, notes that Ugandan politics is not heavily focused on issues, but personalities.
In about 4 years ago, the most hated person on the streets of Kampala was probably Mr. Mbabas. And you know this. He was not liked in parliament. He was not liked. But the day he said, I am leaving, he attracted attention of Ugandans. The day he walks out of Kampala, the crowd follows him.
On the streets of Kampala, opinion is divided.
Nothing interests me to vote, because even if I vote, things will remain the same.
Under this government, when the Electoral Commission is still not independent, people should not temper even saying they're going to vote. What are they going to vote?
Unlike in developed democracies like in Europe and North America, where the electorate bases on issues to vote, especially after national presidential debates, the story is different in Uganda because politics here is based on personality. Now, experts on good governance are warning that this trend is not about to change unless there is voter education, especially among the rural electorate. Solomon Serwanja, KTN News, Kampala, Uganda.